It's the Nuclear Playground Podcast.
I fucked up.
Yeah, fucked up.
But you know.
Oh shit, we got that on tape.
Okay.
Oh well.
Well, you gonna spark up our
Yeah, let's do this.
motivation.
Yeah. How are you today?
I'm all right, dude. I'm actually in a decent mood today. I woke up on the right side of the bed instead of the left, and I've eaten McDonald's for breakfast. And
That's healthy.
boy, it's even more healthy when it's leftover McDonald's from yesterday, and a Denti Moore stew. Okay, I ate like
I had a stroke for breakfast today.
Yeah, basically a Denti Moore, but at least I heated it up on the stove instead of in the microwave. You know, I put a little effort into it. But yeah, you know, I took our new dog for a walk. She's a pit bull named China.
China.
And a rescue with some really big titties.
I will say that she looks like a China.
Yep.
Because she's big as fuck, like the wrestler China.
Yep. Yep. She's got muscles and legs.
The two most important things of being a big girl.
Yep. And issues. No, actually, the dog's pretty cool. Took her for a walk. She's getting along well with all the other animals. Just the other animals aren't getting along well with her. You know? Like, all 4 of my cats are like, fuck that dog. And Mo's like, bitch, this is my house. Yep, like throwing shovels at her when she's running away. She's like, I'm going to go get my BB gun. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good day so far. I'm thinking about watching some shit on Netflix, because Netflix is good for those boring times.
You know, it's good for boring times.
What's that?
Sports,
Yeah,
which I have not watched enough of lately.
dude. Only sports that I've ever I've watched this whole coronavirus season.
It's just fights.
Fights.
Yeah.
And it's been UFC.
That's kind of the energy that's floating around in the air, though. Is like fight energy.
Yeah. People are wanting to hurt each other. I want to hurt people. That's why I'm doing this, so I can relax. Hey, you remember that time we got fucked with in John's backyard? And we bought this shit from High Times. Called Wizard
the fucking
Smoke.
Wizard Smoke, and the cops came and frisked us, and they're like, this isn't weed, is it?
And you're like, no,
No,
it's Wizard
we bought it out of a magazine. Oh, we're going to test it.
And then I was like, it's just going to relax you. Like, oh, I bet it does.
That was when they found our magic cards. And
Yep.
it was like, you're not going to like put a curse on my partner, are you?
He's a good guy. Yeah. I mean, was that the same time Michael was in the back about to cry?
Yeah, busting up tears. My mom's going to kill me.
Dude,
he
I
denies it to this day. But I'm like, I was in the car with you, B.
Dude, I could clearly see like his fucking eyes. Like, Michael doesn't smoke weed, or he didn't.
Yeah.
With us then. And like if he did, it was like that hold the smoke in your mouth and blow it out type of fucking smoking. But he had clearly had puffy eyes. You're lucky you got stuck with the crybaby instead of John.
I gotta go lock my house.
Yes, he was trying to fucking get out of the cop car and fucking like freaking out. Like, my door's unlocked. And like Aaron was in there the whole time.
Completely forgot. I saw that motherfucker peek out the door
And then
like,
close the door.
nope.
He didn't even come out there.
We came back in. He was on like level 6 of Mario Brothers and shit.
So they almost shot John over that fucking
That shit
rag
was
in
hilarious.
that can.
What's in that can? Oh, it's my sparkling water.
It was not even pop or beer. Like, it wasn't even alcohol, and he was willing to die for that sparkling water.
It was the funny shit. So he said, it's my sparkling water. And then they're like, put it down. And he was like, why? And they're like, drop the can. And then my right-handed guy, this motherfucker said, oh, let me finish it. And he chugged it. And then I will never forget the next part when they were like, what's in your pocket? It's my sweat rag. Is it a gang thing? No, it's just for, he takes it out, wipes his brow. It's just to wipe my sweat. They're like, drop it. Why? Every time he's like, why? And they're like, put it down. And he was like, no. And then they say, click.
Yep.
that shit. That man is just.
They treated him
ridiculous.
like he was a black dude.
Yeah.
Almost. They would have shot him.
If they would have shot him, then
It's like, there's no
I don't
hope.
know what I could have said to that. Like that's my friend, and I would have felt bad. Like I would have felt terrible. But I don't think he'd be a hashtag in today's standards. You know what I mean? Like you had that coming.
That's so fucked up, dude. I can't believe you just said that shit.
I mean, yes, the cops have always been aggressive assholes.
Yes.
But we are all aware of that. And when you're told to do something at gunpoint, your best advice is just to do it.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, that argument can be twisted so fucked up. Like, if you want to...
I don't want to get shot anytime soon.
I know, we understand this, right? But, like, it's almost victim blamey. You know, like, oh, you knew you was going to get raped if you go to that college party.
No, okay.
But you wore that skirt anyway.
For some reason, for some unknowns to me reason, the police felt unsafe dealing with John.
Well, I mean,
so
it looks like the
that
Unabomber
fact alone, that they were being
shaved.
way more aggressive with him than all the colored people in that driveway combined.
Yeah.
That's a key sign that you should probably just do what you're told.
That was the weirdest shit, though. Like, because he's probably the most harmless out of all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And they they treated him like shit.
Oh, in some local news, not like it's news, but I just found out that the deadline for the census is closing on the 30th of this month. So, for those of you who complain about needing change and not having resources for your community, I'm one of those big complainers too. Make sure you fill out the census.
Yep.
Get counted. Do your community a service and make sure that they get counted too.
Yeah, that's how they allocate fucking funds for help.
For schools, for
Yep.
police, for drug addiction, all kinds of other counseling
Yep.
and like clinics and things like that.
Yep.
Right now the University of Minnesota is taking over the north side. So like get counted, man, because a lot of these resources ain't even for us. It's under the disguise of being for us, but it's really for the people who are taking the neighborhood over. So get counted.
Yeah, no shit. We
Make
got a
sure your
clinic
voice is
right
heard. Oh, also, our friend Robbie is running for city council in his ward.
here. We should have him on the podcast.
We should. I was just gonna say that. I just talked to him last night. We're gonna meet up sometime this week. If not, was it today or Monday? I can't remember. I think it's tomorrow. We're gonna be meeting tomorrow. He wants me to do some graphic design for his campaign. And then we're going to try to find him a campaign
today or
manager.
next week. He's like, tomorrow. Okay. Oh, that's cool. You're going to be a campaign manager.
Well,
huh?
we're going to find him one. I'm just going to act as a proxy campaign manager for the time being.
I get you.
I think I did mention the podcast to him last night. But yeah, we should really get his voice out there on the internet. And I support him wholeheartedly. Vote Robbie King for city council if you live in his ward.
West, y'all.
He's got a really good platform, and
Well, I can't wait to hear some of those speaking points when it comes.
I don't want to spoil it. I want it to come from the horse's mouth. So, that's all I really got for the local shit.
I got some local news. And I am permanently connected to this dude, and I've been waiting to say his name because I just found it out. But last Saturday at about like 8:15 in the morning, after we got back, or 8:20, somewhere around that time.
Yeah.
I was on West Broadway.
West.
And in Brooklyn Park by McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going up West Broadway, and there was a big-ass box truck in front of me. And we went through the lights, right? You know this story.
Oh, yeah.
And I watched this truck go, and I had to stop at the lights, and it kept going, and then it swerved into the left lane, and it T-boned a car that was coming from the right and crossing traffic, and the car spun around, and I saw the dude like dangling in his car, like whipping around. And then after traffic from the left coming from Dragon Star Foods, after that, the traffic came around and they all got off to the right lane because like the whole accident was all over the road and shit, and they had made their way around, and I watched them single file go around it, and the light changed for me, and I go up, and I see this guy laying there, and the he's like clinging on to life and shit. But anyways, short story that ended up being long. I went back and forth just to see, because there were people trying to help him. The sheriff showed up, and then eventually I watched him like, you know, die, and they put a tarp over him, and I was like, there's like literally nothing anybody could have done to help this guy. So like for the last week, I've been seeing this guy laying there on the boulevard in my head. And now I fucking found out who he is, and his name is Jupiter Yang, and he's like 24 and a Marine on reserve, and he just got his realtor's license. So like dude had like plans, you know. He was going somewhere and doing some shit.
Excuse me.
So, you know, that's local news. Like, he is dead, and that is sad, and I watched him expire, and the shit had me bugging for like a few days. But now I'm back to normal. I don't appreciate life, you know. How?
I don't know.
Hold on, I gotta deal with this real quick. Let me turn this off.
Oh, there. I guess I'm gonna end the local news on a positive note.
That's positive
because I do have one more
life-changing
piece of information. Daryl hit 5. It's not really news. It's news to me because it's my friend. But Daryl won $5,000 at the casino last night.
I know where we going.
I was like, let me hold $1. I'm happy for him. Florida man needs a break.
Oh, Florida man.
That's why I have him say just Florida man on my phone.
But it made me think about like time and how quick it's going, and then like how shit gets forgotten easily. Like, for example, we were talking about Robin Thicke, right? And how like a lot of young people didn't fucking know that was like Marvin Gaye. Like the first time I heard it, I automatically assumed he got permission to use that fucking song.
And then like 6-7 years later,
somebody
was like, "Hey, you owe me some money."
Right? The estate of Marvin Gaye is like, "Hey, what the fuck's going on here?" But it makes me think about like all those old movies and all those old things that we used to watch that are just like gone. Like some of them I can't even remember, you know. And then I'm thinking like all of the remakes that they come out with, and they're getting ridiculous.
There's even songs where like I might have heard them like once.
Yeah.
And then like you're like, "You remember this song?" And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, that has happened a few times, you know.
I think that comes with age, though.
With AIDS?
Age.
Oh, my hearing is age. Yeah, no, I get it. It's fucking weird.
I feel like you start to cling more to personal memories than you do trivial information. And I think it's because you know you're closer to death. So you want to cherish like all the important memories and like lose all the other shit. You know what I mean? Because we're only sponges to a certain degree, and then once we hit like a certain age, we don't just soak up information like that anymore.
I'm a fucking sponge, like a motherfucker. I just understood and took everything you said to heart and cataloged it.
Give it 10 years. You'll forget this conversation even happened.
Not with the podcast. I just need to rewatch this shit. Like, I remember that. Do you remember... Do you think... You know what would be cool? A Captain Planet. A remake of Captain Planet right now. Not the Don Cheadle. Maybe the Don Cheadle
Captain Planet. I would love Don Cheadle Captain Planet. That sounds like somebody wants to be a tree.
Yeah.
I think that they should make a Captain Planet movie.
Yeah.
Starring Don Cheadle.
Yep. and he needs to be as aggressive.
It would be dope to see a remake of Captain Planet, and no matter what the format, though, just because a lot of people feel like global warming is a hype, and it's not. It's
obvious.
not. We've been colder than Antarctica this last couple winters,
And on top of the fucking, we were breaking all kinds of records, like non-stop record breaking. But to be fair, we've only been like keeping catalog of the weather for only a few hundred years, or so many.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, like, even just from observation alone, like this last few winters, like, yeah, the solstice comes at the same time every year, but like actual winter conditions are getting later and later in the year. Like, we didn't get snow till fucking January of the 2019 winter. Like,
I don't remember.
December, we got a little bit of snow in December, I guess, last year, but it wasn't really bad till January. Like, right before Rowena came into town was when we got hit with a bunch of snow.
Good old January. That's my birthday month.
It's your fault.
Birthday.
You're the reason why we have global warming.
I am. I have so much gas. I'm just like a cow. I'm good on it. But yeah, just like a cow.
You've just been chewing all that grass with your 8 stomachs and
Yep.
farting up.
So like, if it wasn't cat, what else would you want to see remade?
Let's think about this.
Because there's been a lot of remakes.
There's been a shit ton of remakes
Like,
already.
just think about all of them. Like even the Karate Kid. I'm not talking about Cobra Kai. I'm talking like
Jaden Smith Karate Kid.
Yes,
It wasn't even karate. It was fucking kung fu. You racist fucks.
It was funny. I was just watching this thing about the Karate Kid, and that kick's not even karate.
Nope.
I was like, that crane kick ain't karate.
That's like fucking Tai Chi or some shit, ain't it?
It's something.
Yeah.
It's something not fucking Okinawa. But yeah, I've been watching a lot. I don't know. I've watched the whole fucking thing of Cobra Kai.
It was really good.
It was.
I fucking killed that shit.
It was easy to. I'm glad it was only half an hour long episode. Dude.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for Black Summer to fucking come out.
I haven't even watched that show yet.
The first season?
Mm-mm.
What?
Because I've never watched the show that it's the prequel for.
Well, you don't need to watch Z Nation because, in all honesty,
Z Nation seems a little hokey in my
Yes.
opinion. Those few episodes I did watch at your house.
yeah, it is hokey as fuck. It's super hokey.
When the niggas got scooped up by the ice cream truck.
Yep. Yep. It is. It's hokey as fuck. But like, Black Summer is not. It's kind of like Dawn of the Dead. Like,
okay.
That feel like almost realism.
Like the remake, Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like fast moving. Anxiety. Yeah.
I'd like to see a remake of Escape from L.A. and New York.
Yeah. Yep.
But possibly not with Kurt Russell.
Well, he'd be old as fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen something 8? What is it with Samuel L. Jackson?
Hateful Eight.
Hateful
Yeah,
Eight, yeah.
I've seen bits and pieces of it. I never got to finish it
It's
though.
fucking good, dude. You gotta watch it. It's one of those fucking dialogue driven movies.
Yeah.
A lot
Kind of
of
like what was that one
Tarantino
movie I
movies are.
seen? There's another western I seen. It's another remake too. True Grit.
True Grit.
Super dialogue heavy, but it was a really good movie.
I like that movie. I like Western movies, believe it or not. I can't believe I'm saying that. But like The Good, the Bad, the Ugly.
That's like hands down one of my favorites.
One of my favorite. Or They Call Me Trinity.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh man, the
or maybe I have. My grandma watches a lot of westerns.
He's like, that's where the right-handed death, where the dude like pulls a gun on him, puts it away, slaps him in the face, pulls a gun.
oh
out.
yeah.
That's where they got that shit for sidekicks. You remember that?
Yep.
Chuck Norris
Yep.
and was it Jonathan Brandis? Yeah,
Yeah.
who hung himself back in like 2000 or 2001 or some shit. A lot of those kids died and killed themselves or something. Remember Mark Ruffalo, from The Bully and
Yep.
The Client and shit, where they saw like this murder or whatever, and these kids. He was also like Huckleberry Finn or some shit
Yep.
with Jonathan Taylor Thomas. But yeah,
You know what else would be a good remake?
What?
Chinese Connection.
Yeah. Yep.
That would be dope.
That would be.
Because the sequel was not as good.
No. But I mean, like, Fist of the Fury has been remade like a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And even Legend. You remember that Jet Li movie where he fucking
Legend of the Fist?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's like basically the same character.
Yep.
But yeah, I would like to see that one. I'd like to see that one remade. I would like to see Enter the Dragon remade.
That'd be dope.
Like in that tournament format. Like, you know what's really cool?
But who would play Bruce?
Who would
play Bruce's character?
At this point? Fuck, man.
I would say Jet Li, but he's done making movies and he's getting old anyway.
What about that dude from Ong Bak? Tony Jaa.
Oh, Tony Jaa would be good.
Yeah, he's not old. Well,
he's getting there.
He's getting there now, but I don't know. Ben Shapiro. But I would like to see a lot of those movies be remade. Some of them they don't need to be remade. Like Rumble in the Bronx, I just watched that shit.
That's a classic.
It's still fucking good. It's still fucking good. But there's some things that, that could use a remake. I just don't. My problem is things that are remade with like big Hollywood production money. Mm-hmm. So it's like
how they did Total Recall.
Yeah. It's super CG. It doesn't feel the same. It feels like it's missing the spirit of acting.
It's missing the spirit of Christmas.
Or maybe it is acting. Like, maybe they're the best actors in the world because they're pretending that whole world exists. Because it's all green screen.
Yeah, like Avengers.
Yeah.
That whole movie's like green screen with like a couple of pillars here and there.
Yeah, some cardboard attached to these people.
Some mocap sensors.
Yeah. It's the weirdest shit ever. Like, whatever. And Vin Diesel's walking around in the completely green bodysuit going, I am Groot. No. That'd be fucking funny. They got a little dot on his stomach.
No, they just got they put all the sensors on his face. Yeah. Like, that's how they do that's how they did all the lip syncing for Call of Duty World War II. They just had a bunch of sensors on their faces and shit.
Yeah, that uncanny valley isn't crossed yet, but it's getting close.
It's getting real close. Remember that Resident Evil cutscene in the beginning?
Yep.
And we were like, did somebody just film this on a VHS camera? Like,
right.
It's getting there, man. Final Fantasy 15's uncannily close to reality now. That 16's coming out soon. That's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
I would love to see another Final Fantasy movie that actually has something to do with Final Fantasy besides like. What movie was that from? That was based on 7, Advent Children. I don't really care to watch that. 7's overplayed, man. Like when they did, God, what was that name of that movie? The Spirits Within.
Yeah, the guy.
It was a good movie.
Yeah,
it was the graphics were phenomenal. Like way the fuck ahead of their time. Story was good. It just wasn't Final Fantasy.
No,
it didn't feel like Final Fantasy. It felt like Avatar.
Yeah, like. Avatar Halo.
Yeah.
A Halo.
But it was definitely good. But I want to see a Final Fantasy movie where it has something to do with Final Fantasy. Like I want to see the crystals, and like I want to see like a warrior of light be chosen. I want to see this epic quest to save the world from darkness. You know what I mean? Like if they did Final Fantasy 3 as a movie, I would throw all my money at them.
You know what movie I want to see? Like if we're talking about RPGs, I want to see Grandia be made.
Grandia would be the best movie ever.
Grandia 2.
I was thinking Breath of Fire, but
Yeah.
Grandia 2
Yep.
would be the best movie ever.
Yep.
Which is essentially Final Fantasy X. Either one of those movies I would take. Grandia 2 or Final Fantasy X.
Yep.
Because their plots are so similar.
Yep.
There's that church, and the whole church is a lie.
Yep.
And then there's like that whole fucking great, powerful, evil being that really wasn't in the first place.
Yeah.
But it is at the same time.
Yeah.
And like, man, it's just.
It's like the id. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You feed it or you don't.
It's just such the premise. 10, I won't say it's just like Grandia 2, but it has a lot of similarities.
Yeah, that good and evil fucking.
Mm-hmm. The stories
Heaven
branch
and hell
off as far
shit.
as like how they handled the lie of religion.
Yeah.
But the course of action is still there.
Right.
They just took different routes to get to the same point. God, I would fucking kill for a Final Fantasy X movie.
I would kill for a video game movie where they fucking paid attention to detail and the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like House of the Dead 2
Yeah.
was great. I was mad that it was straight to cable movie.
Later.
Because House of the Dead 1, that ooey bullshit. Ooey bullshit. But
that was like...
it was terrible. It was a bunch of, half that shit was gameplay footage. And then the rest was just bad acting. And the story had nothing to do with the actual fucking game. There was no literal House of the Dead to speak of. Where like House of the Dead 2 felt like you were playing the actual game House of the Dead 2, but you were watching the movie of it instead. If that makes any sense. Like it was way the fuck gorier than the first House of the Dead. Like have you seen House of the Dead 2 on Sci-Fi?
Yeah.
That shit was dope as fuck. I recorded that shit. Man, still one of my favorite movies. Probably one of the best video game movies I've ever watched besides Mortal Kombat 1.
Can we get some fucking sleeveless goddamn Scorpions and Sub-Zeros for fuck's sake? Like, what the fuck?
Never.
I'm still upset about that. To this day, I am upset.
And their sleeves were like up to here.
Like, Mortal Kombat 1 was great. Don't get me wrong. Any other Mortal Kombat movie that came out since isn't up to par. I mean, even the Legends movie is not the same.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people praise it. It was great. Don't get me wrong. But it's not close to the story that they told from the video game. And the first movie was, but the goddamn costumes, like why the fuck do they have tennis shoes when they're ninjas? They got fucking karate shoes as ninjas. They should have those fucking
tabby boots, yeah.
Oh, and no sleeves. I ain't never seen them have sleeves. When the fuck they have sleeves?
It was winter when they filmed.
Why Liu Kang out there running around and his
Shirtless,
wife beater?
nips cutting glass.
Yeah. Like, what is the point of that shirt? Most of the time his nipples were on the other side of it.
What else will make a good movie? Since we're on the subject of video games. Shinobi. Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden would be a great movie.
Yep. Yeah, it would. Yep. It's definitely 90s movie, though.
Well, it depends on which... Like, if you go... Like, the remake of Ninja Gaiden, that would conform to today's standards a lot better. And it's still, like, the story is still kind of close to the original Ninja Gaiden. But that original Ninja Gaiden, like, especially if you're shooting for, like, a 90s aesthetic...
Yep.
It'd be dope.
Yep. For sure.
And then you would have a whole bunch of dope ass sequels to follow it.
Do you remember that shitty ass Double Dragon movie they made?
We don't speak of that movie.
The Bobo was like diseased or something.
That shit was worse than Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Oh,
And that's a terrible movie.
that movie is terrible.
My brother loves that movie, but only because it's so bad it's good to him.
Yeah. It's kind of like Trolls 2. Or anything along those lines.
Yeah.
Yep. I like to waste my time finding out movies are shit. Not always, though. Man, that beef stew, I ate way too much. It's like Denty Moore every time I heard. Not good. I don't know, man. I'm trying to think here. A Street Fighter movie.
But that's not animated.
Yes. Like a live action. You know what? That Street Fighter shit that they had on YouTube? You seen that live action Street Fighter shit? Oh, that was pretty dope, man. Like, I suggest you after this at some point find you some Street Fighter clips on YouTube from that movie I think it's a fan made fucking thing, but it's got like money behind it, obviously.
You see that bullshit where it was I forget which Ranger, but it was definitely Tommy versus Ryu.
Yes.
Somebody had to pay Ryu off, man, because he should have won that fight.
My thing is, every one of them that has fucking Mark DeFrank or Frank Mark
Jason Frank,
he
always wins.
Always wins because he's an egomaniac.
Mm-hmm. Remember when it was it was the White Ranger versus who was he fighting? and they had the intro video of him where he was in the locker room and he's all like jacked up and he's like, yeah, because White Ranger's got MMA, he's got boxing, he's got kickboxing, karate, look at these chains. He's such a fucking bro now. I idolized that man when I was a kid. Like, I wanted to be just like him. I wanted to go Sikya whenever I beat people up.
I just saw. I watched some fights yesterday, and Donald Cerrone was fighting this guy, Nico Price, and they were beating the fuck out of each other, right? And they went to a draw, and then like they had some shit behind stage, and like Nico Price was like talking about like he's buying property and how he's gonna open up a gym just like Donald Cerrone. He's like, I want to be just like you. Like he's like sucking Cerrone's dick so hard just after they got into after they fought, you know, and they're all beat up and Cerrone's like smiling and happy. But I'm like,
hey, to some niggas that's foreplay.
that is that they're happy, and I like that's really cool. It's really cool to see like sportsmanship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And believe it or not, that's why I hate Conor McMuffin. But after he loses, I've never seen anybody lose as gracefully as him. He's like, he kicked my ass. He was like the better man, and
yeah. But outside of the ring, he's a piece of trash. Isn't that nuts?
It is.
Like he's so respectful. Like, and once he gets in the octagon, he's like super chill. I feel like that's his happy place.
Probably. Oh, dude, did you finish or did you even start that Joe Rogan podcast with Mike Tyson? And just
Yes.
you see how rapey he looked.
I didn't watch it. I listened to it. I was at my desk working, so I was using Apple.
He was
Podcasts.
talking about like getting a hard on for fucking fighting, and like how he gets a hard on thinking about hurting people. And he's looking at Joe, and he starts to breathe heavier into the mic, like.
Hasn't he said some shit like that before in the interview? Oh no! It was. I want to walk up to his son, and I want to crush his testicles, so he can feel the pain that I feel all the time. Salam alaikum.
Yeah.
Me dying. I was like, what the fuck, Mike?
Yo, but I'm watching the videos of him training, and he's looking fucking pretty slick for 50.
And he's supposed to be fighting soon?
Yeah, November. He's fighting against Roy Jones Jr.
Do you know the exact date?
28th.
I'm taking time off.
Yep. I think it's the 28th and the 25th. I could be wrong. They pushed the date back multiple times. But now they're both starting to look kind of crisp and clean with their fucking strikes and shit. So I'm like, that's really going to happen. It's supposed to be an exhibition match, but like they both came out and they're both like, it's not going to be an exhibition match. We're going to.
Somebody's out for blood. They're
going for it. And he knows. He's like, I know Mike Tyson. Like, I know that's what he is. Like, that's what he's going to do. He's going to be him when he comes out here. He's going to try to kill me. And he's like,
you can't not be Mike Tyson when you're Mike Tyson.
Right.
Like, the minute the gloves come on, he's just like, Tyson. Tyson destroy.
Yeah. It's going to be great. And they had some really good fights on. But like we were talking about earlier, like that's the only thing that's on, really. You know?
Mm-hmm. And
now, like, some sports are starting to come back. Football season started. And they're playing right now, actually.
I've missed like the last couple weeks of games since they started.
I think Vikings are
playing.
Wait,
was there
Indiana.
even a preseason this year? Or did coronavirus fuck that up?
I don't know.
Because I don't remember hearing shit about preseason in August.
Me either.
I know baseball's going to come to a close relatively soon.
It's the end of the summer. I haven't been watching baseball in forever.
Hockey, I think, is done.
No.
I think they're going for the cup soon. I can't remember. The only way I've been keeping up with hockey is from Bill Burr. Because his podcast, that's all he talks about is sports. That's the only reason why I'm caught up on anything right now. Because if I can't watch it, I just listen to a podcast that talks about it.
Me, I haven't watched anything other than fights. And I'm super excited, though, because there's a lot of good fights that are coming up, you know.
Not Bellator, because they're kind of done for the next few weeks, I think. There's nothing coming up for the rest of the month. But they already had 2 events this month, so I think we have to wait until October.
Mm-hmm. But, like, as far as boxing goes, there's the Deontay Tyson Fury rematch.
Yep, that's coming up soon.
They got the Mike Tyson, Roy Jones.
Let me pull up my fight schedule here.
I think Stipe Miocic's fighting Francis Ngannou for the heavyweight belt again.
Ooh.
John Jones, I think, is fighting this year. I think.
On or off drugs?
He's fighting in heavyweight now.
Oh. He needs some drugs.
And then there's been talks of him fighting Brock Lesnar.
That'd be a good fight.
Jones versus Lesnar. I hope Lesnar fucks him up.
I hope Lesnar F5's his ass. I hope he forgets that he's not in the fucking wrestling ring and he just picks his ass up and drops him on his neck.
But Lesnar's weakness has been shown. I mean, that's his stomach. He can't take getting hit in the gut at all, and he shies away from getting hit in the face. So,
I thought there was some boxing coming up, but it looks like, as far as sports is concerned, we got England versus West Indies for football, women's 2020. Yeah, I said it. Football.
you mean soccer?
Football.
Soccer. We're in America.
And there's a couple days worth of that. And then we've got, let's see. Ooh, FNG 98 is going to be a Friday the 25th. I might watch that. And then
You watch way more sports than me already.
oh wait, we got the WBSS final, Breeders versus Dordicos.
I don't even know what the fuck that means. You're just saying alphabet letters now.
It's boxing, son.
FFBS, what?
The WBSS, World Boxing Sock'em.
Okay.
The pair battle with the ring belt and the Muhammad Ali trophy also on the line.
Okay.
I think it looks like a decent fight. Might
I
have
don't
to
even
watch
know
that.
who those people are.
I don't either, but I like to watch things.
There's this guy
I've been
named-
watching sports that aren't even relevant. Like, too bad it's canceled right now, but the NBA G League was dope as fuck last season. I mean, and they're not as good as, like, the actual NBA players, which is why they're playing G League. But a lot of the niggas should be playing in the NBA. But I still have yet to see somebody dunk in that league.
Really?
Yeah. It's like watching tall-ass WNBA players.
Dude, there's this dope-ass fucking Japanese boxer. God, what is his name? It's like... Let me look down at my phone. And his name is Naoya Inoue. How do you say that?
Inoue.
No,
Inoue.
the first name.
Oh, Naoya.
Naoya Inoue.
Naoya Inoue.
Either way, that dude's bad as fuck, and he's like murking people left and right. In boxing.
It even says here, Jones Jr. on Tyson. We're gonna fight. That's fucking hilarious.
That's gonna be great. I'd like to see Mike Tyson in a Rocky movie. Like if they fucking remake another Rocky movie. I mean, you ever watch any of the Creed movies?
No, I want to though.
I have them. I haven't watched them yet.
Oh, dude, DAZN, you should really log back in because they've got a lot of classic boxing matches on their Saturday Fight Live.
Yeah.
It's funny they call it live because they stream it live, but it's like old ass fights. De La Hoya versus Pacquiao. Motherfucking, where was that other fight I was looking at? Mayweather versus Ortiz. Mosley versus Mora.
All those are great.
Motherfucking De La Hoya versus Mayweather from 2007.
I watched that.
That was a good fight. De La Hoya versus Mayorga.
I watched that too.
There's Kimbo Slice versus Ken Shamrock.
I watched that.
That's fucking, dude, there's some good ass fights. I'm glad I didn't cancel this shit. Jacobs versus Chavez Jr.
You know what they need to remake? Pride.
Yes. But they have to keep the Yakuza.
Yep.
Otherwise it's not good.
Right.
The fuck I need rules for.
Then
Kick that
no.
nigga when he's down. That's what I want. That's what I paid you money for.
Yeah. That shit is
Dude,
brutal.
Pride was fucking horrifically good.
It is brutal. Those fucking soccer kicks were like amazing. It definitely equalized the striking game.
I'm a huge Sakuraba fan. I miss that man so much. He took a lot of L's towards the end, but I still supported him, man. He was like one of my favorite fighters out of Japan.
Yeah, still to
That
this day.
ear was just like
His armbar game was fucking
on point.
Amazing.
That was like when what was his name? Wasn't Vanderlei Silva in Pride? No,
Yep.
he was like in his prime.
Yep, and he murked him
He was
3 times,
fucking rape choking people in the ring and shit.
stomping on people's heads.
Hell yeah.
Then like Mirko Krokop knocked him out with a head kick, and then when they brought Pride to the U.S. or to America, and it was like Pride 35 or some shit, 33 or something, and Dan Henderson knocked him out.
I remember that.
And then he gave him the H-bomb where he jumps in the air and fucking pounds a dude in the face. Kind of like how he did Michael Bisping. You know, he's got a TV remote in his house. Like he sits at his couch, and then on the on his remote, you know, the little symbol they have for Major League Baseball or basketball, where it's the blue and the red in the outline. It's him doing the H-bomb on Bisping.
Flips it over. Never forget.
Yep. That is fucking funny.
I just miss Boss Rutan's commentary, man.
Yeah, I miss his commentary. I miss Vanderlei Silva's viciousness. I miss fucking Sakuraba's tenaciousness.
Determination.
Yeah. Grit. I miss fucking
Grit.
I miss watching Mirko Krokop in the square. Like he fucking, cause he's always fought in the square.
Yeah.
So like the transition to MMA was easier in a ring than in a cage. And like if you look at his cage record, it's
not good.
It's not good. But like in a ring, he be murdering motherfuckers. That left high kick.
Why was the cage introduced? Was it just to fucking make it seem more like barbaric than a ring? Like when UFC first started.
Yeah, I feel like it had aesthetic purpose for that, and also, they didn't want people flying out of a ring. And the only
because it was like, it wasn't like MMA how it is now, where like they're taking various techniques and incorporating it into one defined martial arts style.
Yeah.
It was legitimate mixed martial arts.
Yeah, it was
Like,
about the
there
art.
were people getting tossed around and kicked in the face, and
The very first fight was Gerard Ledoux and this fucking sumo wrestler, and he ended up on the ground and against the cage, and this Gerard Ledoux fucking kicked him right in the face, and his tooth went flying out of the cage and into the fucking crowd.
I remember when karate gis were allowed still.
Yep.
And people were getting gi choked left and right.
Well, fuck, dude. I know shit. Just yesterday or the day before, I was watching, because I had the Pride Grand Prix, the first one on DVD, like the whole tournament.
Yep.
So it has Yoshida in it, the judo gold medalist from Japan, from like '94 or some shit like that, and he was gi choking the fuck out of everybody, and him and Vanderlei Silva fought, and I miss watching people with the gis on. You know, you don't see that shit anymore. Like never.
Never. Can we? What would it take to start our own fighting league?
Not much. You know why? Because like if you look on YouTube, they got Backyard Wars or some shit.
Yeah, see, I don't mean like backyard wrestling, man. I want our shit to be like their shit, except for you could wear gis.
But that's where it starts. It's in the backyard.
It's not how UFC started. Dana White went out there with a camcorder, like
No, what happened was they got a bunch of rich fucking folks who wanted to fucking make money, and the Gracies wanted everybody to know that their shit was the best shit in the world.
I feel like we should just buy a space,
They made that tournament,
put a ring in it,
legitimately.
and then host a gambling den, and then just upload that shit on YouTube.
Bro, I've been talking about making a gambling den here, in the studio. Just
No, but
sitting
I mean like to actually watch the fights, because I feel like that's how it starts. Like motherfuckers were just like showing up, waiting to fucking find a chance to spend their money on people fighting, and you know betting that same money on people fighting, and then somebody just happened to be there to recording it and sharing it with the nation. You know what I mean? And now that we got YouTube, and shit like that, I feel like we can do it. And as long as we have rules and regulations and refs and, you know, people are actually like safe, like people have coaches and people are in their corner and shit like that. Like if we go the whole 9, I think we can do it.
I'm telling you, man, like backyard bare knuckle boxing, like street beefs. That's what it is. Look up fucking street beefs. They have their own rules and their own like whatever. And it's usually in a backyard, but we don't need to have. We can like make a legit.
This is on YouTube.
Yeah, street beefs. And oh my God, there's this heavy set guy named like Shigami or something like that, and he wears a gi.
Whoa, this nigga is short.
And he wears a gi.
Let's play Raid Shadow Legends.
Let's not play Raid Shadow Legends.
What do you? Yeah. But if you look at street beefs, there's this guy named Shigami. He's a white dude with like a black Ryu headband and a karate gi. And he head kicks the fuck out of some dude to sleep.
Look at this short dude.
Yeah. What's his name? Baby Hulk? Baby Hulk?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, those street beef shits. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, you see what I mean?
But they have a cage.
Yeah. But no, not all of them. Sometimes it's just hay bales.
Word?
Word.
Like some backyard wrestling shit?
Yep. And they fucking legit fight.
It's amazing how short people can be so stocky if they put their minds to it.
That low center of gravity, bro.
Look how tall this dude is compared to the... He's skinny as fuck, though.
He's almost 6 feet tall. That fence is about a 6-foot fence. I know, because I built those fences.
That's a fucking 7-foot fence, B.
6 foot.
All them people are underneath the top bar.
Uh-huh. Are under 6 feet tall. And Baby Hulk looks
Look
so
how
fun.
short he is.
So, yeah. So, we could do this easily. All we need to do is just, like, set up a ring or a cage.
And find some people willing to fight.
I know. I have plenty of people who are willing to fight. We just got to be able to make money off of it in order to pay them.
Well, we have to be the bookies.
Well, first things first, we have to make the
Ooh.
investment. So we got to make the money to pay these guys to fight. And some of them, like even like in MMA, like some of these contracts are $5,000 to $1,000.
Really?
Yep, like $500 to $1,000
Per fight?
per fight.
Do you think these guys are getting paid?
Yeah. Fuck yeah, they're getting paid. They're getting paid probably like a couple $100, $500. Who knows? We should ask them.
How do we ask them?
Well, that guy, Baby, whatever, had his Instagram handle and shit right there.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
We could do some.
But what if he
research.
has to fly here?
We don't need to fucking have him fight. We
No,
can
I'm just saying, if we were like, hey, I want to recruit this guy.
If we wanted to recruit him, yeah, we could. His name and shit's right there. We just got to ask him how much he charges per fight. Like some street beef shit. Baby Hulk is small. Fuck, I will drive.
He's like Steve Short.
I will drive Baby Hulk from wherever the fuck that is. I think that's Missouri.
Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah. So
Oh.
we could do that.
Oh, that was nasty.
We could get. Oh my God, we could find somebody for Q to beat up. Just think about it. Q looks fucking awesome. He's got a dope ass mohawk.
He's got a really fucking big build too.
He's not
like,
short.
He's not short.
He has
he's not
ex-military.
and he's not like fat. He's just wide.
And he's fucking.
Like-
I'm sure he's strong.
He's strong as fuck, dude.
And he used to be military. Like fuck.
He's got mad tinnitus though, dude. I don't know if he would want to risk that shit.
Yeah. Well, what are you saying? It could be a slap boxing match. Who knows? A Jello match.
Dude, let's do that. Let's just fucking set up a ring and have a professional slap boxing
What if
tournament.
we have a bunch of gay dudes do Jello wrestling?
You think that they would do it?
That would sell. I think there's obviously.
Somebody's gonna do it now that we have this on the air.
Fuck. It kind of happened like that guy did, that meme that we were talking about. That, what was it? The mannequin challenge? We were talking about that with the heroin addict parents. That
Yeah, but that wasn't on the air though. We didn't bring that up on the
I know,
podcast.
that was weird,
weird.
Like a month or 2 months later, that shit showed up. We should have just did it when it was there.
Siri was listening.
Goddamn Apple.
Your phone listens too.
Nope, my phone is.
You can say,
on
"Hey Google"
silent.
right now, and then
Nope.
you'd be like, "What up, man?
Nope.
I'm Google.
Nope.
You want to know some stuff?"
But we could totally do that. Fuck, man, you could fight if you want to. I could find somebody.
I'm getting too old for that shit. Also, I'd have
Mike
to
Tyson's
train, man.
53.
When's the last time I trained?
I got a whole boxing gym downstairs, and you know this.
I know, but I want my karate back.
I got a fucking floor to ceiling bag, and
I got to stretch
a
lot. I ain't as flexible as I used to be, man.
all I hear is excuses.
Cause I'm old and fat.
Come on, man. I always wanted to train somebody to fight. I trained my brother. And
I
he beat
want
the
to train
shit
to
out of
fight,
somebody.
but I want to do it for self-defense. I don't want to just be like getting pummeled
Okay.
in the ring.
So you're Miyagi-Do and I'm Cobra Kai.
Bet.
Like the
All your
best-
kids are fucking Cobra Kai. I just thought about that shit.
Yeah.
'Cause they be walking around flexing and shit.
aggressive. They're offensive.
Except for Ronald.
Yeah.
Ronald's probably Miyagi though.
Yeah.
Although he entered the tournament unaffiliated, because right now we have a problem. No, I was kidding. Hope I'm not spoiling nothing for y'all.
Yeah, that's pretty good though. Like, honestly, like I've had so many like things that I wanted to do growing up. Like, wanted to be a storm chaser. I wanted to be like.
I remember we used to talk about that all the time.
Yep.
I still want to do it.
Yeah,
I was just on Twitter talking. Was it Twitter or Facebook? It's Facebook. I was on Facebook. There's this group called Twin Cities Geeks.
Yeah.
And somebody had said something about that storm that blew here when the sky turned all red after a bunch of shit got knocked over. Remember when you guys lost power?
Yeah.
So, I was reading on Facebook the next day. Somebody took some pictures and they were saying some shit about the storm. And somebody else said something about being a storm chaser or wanting to be a storm chaser. And I was like, dude, I've been dreaming about that shit since like high school.
Yep.
And somebody else got on, "Oh, well, you can get yourself killed. You better be careful. You better go and get some education." It's like, I know. I'm a fucking adult. I wouldn't just be like, wheels up, let's go. Like, there's equipment we're going to need. There's definitely a healthy knowledge of meteorology that I'm going to have to acquire outside of what I already understand about the weather.
Right.
They made it seem like I was going to be like 10 feet away from that motherfucker. Like, look at it.
Right.
It's so beautiful.
Oh, that's just because people think that we're just gonna be ignorant as fuck and go ahead blindly into something. I have no idea why people think that.
They assumed that I was going to be like on the movie Twister.
No,
Like-
well, no, they assume that you're gonna be like all those idiots on Instagram who are like, I'm gonna go do this, and then they get fucking murdered by a tornado
Or a house.
or a house from a tornado that the tornado threw at them. You know. But yeah, I wanted to be a storm chaser, but I also wanted to be like a fucking like a fitness trainer or a fucking train somebody to fight, you know. I want to run my own business, which I do, but I've got to get my license and
I still
insurance.
want to open that liquor store we were playing in.
Yep. Right now, I'm studying for my license.
Should
Right.
I study for my liquor license?
Well, why not? Fuck it, dude. Why not this? Why not just study everything that we can to get all the certifications we want, so we can do whatever the fuck we want when we want?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Right.
I've been holding myself back. I've only been acquiring certain bits of knowledge that I need for right now.
Right. But the only thing, the other excess shit that I got is like a boiler's license or a lead abatement certification or an asbestos certification and shit like that.
Yo, so what would I have to do in order to get certified for like to be like a building engineer? Like not like an engineer like I'm fucking making robots or shit like that. You know what I mean? Like a fucking like get like a to be like a maintenance worker or some shit like that.
Maintenance?
Yeah.
A lot of maintenance people get their jobs just through having experience through doing shit. So like, say they were a caretaker, and some people sometimes you don't need experience, and sometimes people will take you on and teach you shit. But normally, like, I honestly don't know. I got into it because my dad was, and he taught me everything.
Well, there are some jobs where, like, especially like hotels, they treat it like fucking like apartment maintenance, and so like you'll have to fix things like the heating and the air conditioning, and like you have to know like some electrical shit.
Yeah,
and, like shit like
HVAC.
that. So like if there's not like no one-stop shop for me to just like study for all that shit at once, and then fucking just.
No, you basically got to say you have experience doing it.
But I don't.
And do it.
But I don't.
Well, you can always like. They have apprenticeship programs and shit like that where you can like even for maintenance. But it's all like it really is all experience. And most of maintenance shit is like how to maintain your own fucking property. So if you're a property owner as is, or like I take care of my mother's property, like I fucking fix her. I fix like faucets and like electrical. I know how to change outlets or simple shit like that. Like basically, I could teach you everything you need to know about maintenance in about a week, except for heating, like appliances, and yeah, basically appliances and.
Is this some pyramid scheme kind of thing where I have to buy the office before I can own it?
Yes. But maintenance will only get you so high until you get certified. Like you get a boiler's license, or you get a pool license. You get way more money, right? And then lead abatement, like I said, asbestos certified, like all of that shit. You just keep adding that up, and your money just keeps going up higher and higher, and to the point where like right now, like I need to get my goddamn contractor's license if I want to keep crossing the lines on work, because I can get insured but only for specific things.
Right.
Like I've had painter's insurance, I've had insurance for this or that, but if I get my contractor's license, I can get contractor's insurance and just be like,
that's across the board type shit.
yeah, and I can go do like big ass I can fucking fix the roof, like replace the roof. I can add like shit onto a house, add-ons, all of that shit. But
could you build a tiny house?
Yes, easily. A matter of fact, 2 of them that I've worked on already.
Actually, a really good friend of mine lives in a tiny house that he built himself just recently.
Yeah.
He's still standing on his mom's property, but like it's his house.
Right. I was trying to get you to do that at your mom's house.
My mom wanted me to do that for a while. But then
she's like, nah.
Yeah, because I brought up that office trailer. I was like, I want this just to work in. Like, I don't want to work in the basement. I want to, like, work in this. And she's like, nah. And I was like, but why? And she's like, because you smoke weed. Damn.
It's 2020, man. It's not like fucking the 70s or the 60s where you're a hippie. Like, fuck. Elon Musk took a hit of weed. He didn't inhale, but he took a hit.
He looked like he was struggling just to hold it in his face.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
I seen a meme where it had a picture of Elon Musk looking at one of his rockets like, oh my gosh. And this girl said, get yourself a man who looks at you how Elon Musk looks at his rockets. He's like, oh wow. Can you imagine like you loving somebody that much where like every time you see them you're just like ah. No, you guys are your default face for them now. How's your day?
That's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, like that's a.
I mean, everybody wants to be loved, but I mean,
that much?
It sounds painful.
I got lightheaded just impersonating that shit.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of energy makes me tired. Man, so got a question.
Yep.
Before we're done, what was your favorite horror movie from the 80s? Monster horror movie. Not
define monster.
anything that's a monster. That's not a phantasm or a psycho killer.
Making me think here.
Cause like,
Does it have to be scary?
yes. I mean, it could.
I mean, some things from the 80s wasn't a horror genre,
but they were.
but it was definitely very yeah.
Yeah, that counts because they were trying, but they sucked.
Ghoulies 3.
That's actually a good movie. They got a lot of monsters from and trolls from Ghoulies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ghoulies 3 was my shit when I was a kid. Like I would go to Blockbuster. I would rent it like religiously, like once a month, because it has a healthy dose of comedy, ugly looking critters, and boobs.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
There's
you got a
so
lot of
many
TNA.
titties in that movie.
My dad used to watch like all of the shittiest fucking 80s movies. So like we would watch Slumber Party Massacre and shit, and it'd be like a guy with a guitar with a corkscrew at the end of it. And I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? He just break into people's houses and these girls like barely wearing nothing, tits and ass running all over him like, you know, it's fucking insane.
You know what movie is more recent, but it reminds me of like that quality of movie?
What's that?
The Cook.
Yes.
I Am Cook.
I love that shit.
It's such a good movie.
It is.
Oh.
I just showed a few people, kids, for the first time.
Really?
Yep. They're like, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah, I know. But the more I watch it now as an adult, I'm like, this is kind of like hard to watch a little bit because it's like really rapey and
Yeah.
it's really like fucked up. But it was a different time then,
That movie,
and kids are probably still the same.
and I think Showgirls were the only two NC-17 movies I've ever watched in my life.
Really?
Mm-hmm. There weren't very many of them to begin with. I haven't heard of a single NC-17 movie since the 90s.
Yeah, I think that rating's gone now. I don't even
It's
know.
just R now.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because you have to be over 17 to see a rated R movie anyway.
Yep.
NC-17 was just a polite way of saying you should really be an adult.
Yep. There's a lot of good movies out there that are like, that kids should definitely not watch. Like, Irreversible.
I don't think I've seen that.
Gasper, no, I have that movie. What the first scenes of the movie is a guy in a bar getting his face caved in with the fucking fire hydrant. Or the fire extinguisher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like, if I say anything more, it kind of ruins it. But the movie goes in reverse, so that's basically what everything in the movie culminates. So like, that's what it leads up to. That's the crescendo moment at the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And then they go through the whole movie in reverse on how they got to that point. And then they show the very last scenes, and it's like, what caused this guy to murder this guy. So it's like pretty fucked up. And then a Serbian flick where like I'll fucking flat out warn everybody in this movie about this movie. You only need to watch it once, and you probably don't even need to watch it once. I will tell you the fucking scene. I will spoiler alert this shit right now. But towards the end of the movie, there's a scene that is so fucked up that I know shit. I had to fast forward through it because I just wanted to finish it.
Damn.
Yeah, I just wanted it over. Like, I didn't want to end the movie because, like, I just wanted to, like, if I watched the whole fucking movie up to this point, like, I might as well finish it.
So you've never once watched that scene to completion?
I ran through it. Yeah, I watched it in fast forward, you know. But the dude fucking rapes a baby, like a legit baby.
Oh yeah, I'd fast forward to that.
Yeah,
shit
I'm like,
too.
what the fuck, you know? That shit was like too much.
What
And
movie is that?
a Serbian flick or a Serbian film or something like that. That's what it's called. Yep.
Remind me not to watch that.
I would watch it all the way up until it gets to that point because it's really fucked up. And like, if you like fucked up shit, then that's great. But up until there, I was like, I can't hang with it. I can't hang with it. The rest of it's fucked up. Like, there's like some sun raping and shit like that. It's just fucked up.
I don't think I want to watch that movie.
No, I just ruined it. But like, everything up to that point,
I don't think you ruined it. I think you just saved my motherfucking life.
Yeah, I watched that shit, dude, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I guess that guy, well, because I didn't even look at the reasons why, because I didn't want to know the reasons why these movies were so disturbing. But I looked up a list of disturbing movies that, you know, were banned. So I'm like, oh, I want to watch. And like, there's some movies on there that were like banned for the dumbest reasons, like Fantasia, right? Fantasia is a banned movie in like, I can't remember what country. But I was like, I'm not putting that on the list. I've already seen it. But all these other things I haven't seen. And that happened to be one of the lists. And the director and everything is like, if he goes to like certain countries, he's gonna get arrested. or some shit like that.
I could see why.
Yeah.
So, what is your favorite '80s monster movie?
Well, it's there. I got two. One is Monster Squad.
I've never watched that one.
It's about like kids and like all of the Hollywood monsters that they got. They got the Mummy. They got the monster from the Blue Lagoon or Black Lagoon.
Mm-hmm.
They got Wolfman. They got.
It's supposed to be a scary movie,
Frankenstein. No, it's not a scary movie.
but it's in the horror genre.
Horror genre.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, it is kind of scary. Like if you're a kid, like there's some fucked up scenes in there, but like as an adult, you're like, oh, this is like Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
You know. And then I would say Puppet Master.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yep.
Like me some Puppet Master. Remember Ragdoll?
Yep. Like, any of those Full Moon productions were great. Totem, that was another one. Yeah. I love those movies. But I feel like I should probably watch one of those movies very soon. Like now.
We gotta fucking do that project we were gonna do.
Which one?
Where I watch a bunch of movies I haven't seen.
Yep.
And we film that.
Yep.
And then you watch a bunch of anime you haven't seen.
Yep.
And then we film that.
Yeah, I got a
fucking
fuck ton
cut
of
that
movies,
for time on
dude.
YouTube.
Like, it's cool that you're like the anime buff and I'm like the movie buff, and we can just sit here and go back and forth.
Well, it's just like how it was, even like, or how it still is with like TV for me. Like you would call me up and ask me like random shit. Like I'll never forget this. I was working at Cedar Sign.
Yeah.
With PFAB and his dad. We were just sitting down for lunch, and you called me up and was like, "Hey man, what was this fucking slogan for McDonald's back in like the late '80s, early '90s, in the commercials and shit?" And I was like, "Food, folks, and fun." You're like, "All right then," and you hung up the phone. And Mike was like, "What was that about?" And I was like, "Well, historically speaking, Sherm's like, if I forget something about a movie, he'll be able to give me that trivia information. And like, if he forgets something about TV or like anime, he'll call me and ask me about that shit."
Yep.
And he's like, "Y'all are so fucking weird."
I was like, I don't need Google. I'll just call Sprout.
Some sort of screen was our babysitter. You can tell.
Yeah. Yep. My dad was an alcoholic, so like they were always partying. And
My mom was a workaholic.
Yep.
So I understand.
Yeah. When my dad quit, like he would still work from sun up to sundown, come home, get drunk, pass out. Except for without him drinking, he would work, come home, eat, and then pass out when he stopped drinking. And Jeanette worked overnights, so it was like
My mom just liked to have a fucking bunch of shit to do, in my opinion. Like, she always worked.
Yep.
Like, always. She was always, like, doing stuff with the church, like going to meetings and support groups and shit like that. So I spent a lot of my early, especially, like, my, like, formative years, like from, like, 8 to, like, 12, like, just at church on random, like, Tuesdays and Thursdays and shit.
oh man.
You know, like, and sometimes she would like work like overtime and shit like that. So I was definitely a latchkey kid.
Oh yeah.
And if I wasn't in some like after school program, I was just at home with the TV, not doing homework.
I think our era was the era that they realized latchkey kids at this point were a mistake, and it's changed. Like,
Oh yeah, because look at the people who are like considerably younger than us now, who are like now adults, like they're like people in their like early to like mid 20s.
Yeah.
Latchkey was a mistake for them niggas. Like their parents didn't have the same priorities.
You know what's
So-
even fucking? It's more fucked up. And it's a good thing is like all of the kids that I know nowadays, I tell them stories of the shit that we did, or they hear about shit we did, and they look at us like, "You guys are stupid. What the fuck are you doing? Like, that's dangerous." Or why?
But no, there's another half of that group where they're like,
Tide Pods.
yeah, Tide Pods and fucking just there's a lack of critical thinking that wasn't given to them by their parents. You know what I mean? Because their parents were also latchkey kids, but they definitely took advantage of that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I listened to my parents for the most part. Like, I still rebelled a lot, but like that wasn't until mostly high school. So like middle school, elementary school, I just did whatever I wanted to do in the confines of my house because it was just video games and TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was it. I would have to eventually I would end up having to do homework if I got caught not doing it. So I just didn't bother doing it until it was like, oh, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I had bad influences.
But like, I never really, like, if I did leave the house, we never really did anything to get in trouble. I was hanging out with Matt.
Yeah.
And Matt's mom was like on it.
Well, could you imagine growing up with Orlando and Manuel and like everybody? Like, it wasn't not getting in trouble. We were like boosting shit, like stealing shit from stores or setting shit on fire.
Oh, me and Matt stole shit all the time, but like, that was as far as it really went.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even like me and Chris from like middle school.
Yeah.
When that Target used to be over there on Broadway, we used to go in there and take shit all the time. Like, oh, well, my mom wasn't gonna buy me this anyway. But like, we never like got into too many street fights. We never had beef with nobody. The people on my block that were definite bad influences that I didn't want to be around, like, or even like my mom didn't want me around, like, I kept away from, just because they weren't about the same kind of action I was about anyway. I did kind of end up bullying a kid with Matt, but that was the worst behavior that we ended up having. You know what I mean? Like, that was it.
And then you got bullied.
And then I got bullied a little bit in middle school and a little bit early in high school. And then I was just like, fuck this shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was about it, really. Like, I feel like if my mom and my dad wasn't so concerned about my educational well-being, then
You'd have been.
I'd have been a lot different.
See, my dad and them didn't give a. They didn't give a fuck because they were like working and drunk, so there was no talking to me about shit. So I was like, "What do you want to do?" They're all getting drunk. We're gonna stay up late. We're gonna watch Hulk Hogan. We're gonna drink Pepsi. We're gonna smoke cigarettes. We're gonna drink. We're gonna touch neighbor girls' vaginas, and burn houses down to the ground, and shit like that. We'd steal booze. We stole beer from like the corner stores and shit. With like backpacks. We just go in there like full of all of our cousins. We go in there and there'd be so many of us. You just throw a couple of bottles in the bag and walk out the store. It's the good times.
Good time.
And our uncles used to like, no shit, my Uncle Austin and Jason would shove me in through the windows that they couldn't fit into strip houses. So like these abandoned houses you see all over.
Like copper and shit like that?
Yep, we would go in there and we'd shut the gas off. We'd get all the brass, all of the fucking copper, and I would be like the guy that they would squeeze through the windows.
How old were you?
9, 8.
What?
Yeah, we was like little kids, and we'd get shoved in. That's how I learned how to steal payphones.
How the fuck you learn how to steal a payphone?
From my uncles. Like, no shit.
Why were they stealing payphones?
There's a certain liquor store and laundromat that were near each other in a certain area of Minneapolis, and they were screwed. There's a bank of payphones screwed to boards up against the wall. We went in there in the middle of the night because it's 24 hours, unscrewed it, popped the whole thing off the wall, and 4 of us were carrying it. I'm sure I wasn't doing any good, but I was a little kid helping, and we threw it in the back of the truck in the car, and we drove it to the garage, and we sat there for fucking hours until we busted them open, and we had bags and bags of quarters, and then we went to the casino back when casinos took change and changed that in for cash.
Wow.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
I never knew.
Yeah. We used to do like all of I learned how to do all of that shit from my uncles. Like, I knew how to get free papers with a fucking nail. Like, I don't know what good that would have done in case I like locked my wallet. I don't know why I would leave my wallet in there, but or how to steal soda from a soda machine or get free candy from one of those fucking, those tumbler things.
You know what I learned at an early age?
What's that?
Like 7 or 8.
What's that?
It's like actually right after my mom and dad divorced. Actually, a friend from church, her dad used to come over all the time, and he would let me like play his Nintendo until I got one from my dad, like that following year. And he was like, "You guys got 2 VCRs in the house, yeah?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Let me show you something. And he basically showed me how to pirate videos.
Yep.
And I was like, what about that FBI warning? He was like, what the FBI doesn't know won't hurt him.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's pretty fucking clever.
So I would pirate the shit out of movies. Like, we had when Meteor Man had came out,
Yep.
on VHS, we had like a whole big like viewing party for it. Because we had a sneak preview for it before it came out in theaters. So like we were like all about that movie. It was like, oh, black superhero, yeah.
Yep.
And
I remember Meteor Man. It was
everybody, like all our family and friends came over to watch it. And my mom was like, set everything up. And I was like, cool. But what she didn't know was that I had 2 VCRs hooked up, stacked on top of each other while we were watching. I was dubbing that shit.
That's so funny. That's pretty clever, though. I mean, it's a good way to save money and get all the movies that you want.
Mm-hmm. I loved going to Blockbuster. That's how I got Tank Police.
Yep.
So I got Project A-Co.
Yep.
So I got fucking all the Ranma I had. Like, what the fuck I need to buy it for?
Video Update was pretty dope, too.
Video Update was dope. That's how I got Overfiend.
Yep. And then I remember Hollywood Video that came after.
Yep.
That was like towards the end of the video era.
I'm surprised Video
Universe
Universe is still open. Yeah.
It is, and it's got all of the rarest shit in there.
And it costs $1 million to rent some shit in there.
It does.
They got porn in that motherfucker.
They do.
Video Universe, Robbinsdale, right off of 81.
Yep.
This is not a paid sponsorship ad, but one day I hope it will be.
Yeah, you should check. No shit. Check it out. Whatever, like,
Tell them Nuclear Playground sent you.
old school fucking movie that you remember as a kid, I almost guarantee you they'll have it. I'm almost guaranteed.
We should go there sometime this week.
Yeah.
I need to get a membership.
Yep.
I remember Michael used to work there for a while.
They had like 3 different labeled Street Fighters.
Really?
Yeah, they have the red label. They have the fucking blue.
So they got the fucking PG, the R, and the director's cut?
Yep.
Yes. Because it was yellow, red, blue.
Yep. That's what I was
in that order.
Yep. That's what they have. So you get the full Chung-Li experience.
Yes. I remember I had that shit on DVD for a while.
Yeah. Yep. It's a really.
I actually had it on VHS because I used to dub videos all the time too.
Yep. My uncles were great though. They used to buy us booze. Remember that?
Yep.
We used to get booze from them all the time.
That's how we got that case of 40s when I graduated high school.
Yep. We used to when I was a kid, we get like $10, and we would stand in the way. Me and Orlando would be paid to stand in the way at the door of the check cashing place on Lake Street.
Yeah.
And they would bring in friend X with her check, right? And she would cash it at the window, and then one of my uncles would take the money and run, and she'd pretend like she just got robbed. And since she's still in the fucking thing, like they used to refund money, so they would get double the cash.
Money.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and me and Orlando would get $10 for standing in the doorway,
just
being,
$10.
Yeah, but it's like
man,
like the 80s.
I'm the getaway driver. I want a better cut.
We just stand in the doorway, blocking the door for anybody who's trying to chase them, and that was it. $10.
My Uncle Jason told me about this thing that him and my dad used to do where I don't know if it ever worked successfully, but he said that they had this elaborate plan where they were gonna fucking get a second phone line and have it put like in the garage or some shit like that and use it as a business number so they can fucking pay these white ladies to go to the bank and get business loans, and then they would fucking cash them out, or they would try to cash them out was the idea, and then fucking like build this like financial empire. But it never took off because they never got anybody to fucking do it because people are smart. And
yeah. Like that time your sister tried to come and fucking get me to cash a fucking fake check, like a bounce check, like I'm not gonna cash it. I was like, that's a stolen check. That's a forged fucking check. I'm like, no. She asked me that shit. You don't want to cash? Like, no. That was back in like 99 or some shit, like 2000.
I remember when I don't want to name drop here.
Just
but
don't.
I remember when I was asked to accept a check for like $5,000, and you know who I'm talking about because he's got a history of doing this shit.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Could you just take this check and cash it for me, and I'll give you like $500?" And I was like, "Nope."
Yeah, no, that's a terrible idea. Check fraud's a terrible idea.
Terrible.
It's fucking paper trail.
Mm-hmm. And there's cameras everywhere.
That's the dumbest shit. Like, how you think you're gonna get away with check fraud?
Hill's got eyes.
Right? Fuck it, man. So what do you want to do now?
You want to go get some chicken?
I think I can do that.
Yeah. I want some chicken.
All right, cool. So we want to wrap this up then?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cobra Kai, watch that shit.
Nuclear Playground,
Watch
subscribe.
that shit. Watch it. Like, subscribe, and some other shit. Comment if you have something to say.
Yeah. Also, definitely feel free to leave us a message at our site on anchor.fm/Nuclear Playground. We have a voice message option, and we'd love to hear your input.
Yep. Look us up, Nuclear Playground on YouTube.
Even if you wanted to say hi or what's up.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, for those who are listening, we're on YouTube as well. So if you want to see video of our faces,
you want to see my ugly mug.
yes.
But yeah, even on the YouTube comments, like you got some input, or you just want to say hi, or you need some advice on some shit.
We're not good with advice,
but we're not bad with it either. We shouldn't be taken seriously either way. I mean, unless it's really good advice. But how would
Cobra
you ever
Kai,
know?
that's good advice. That's good advice.
That's terrible advice.
It's good advice.
Good advice. This is good advice. This is a nice approach.
All right, man.
Yeah. So,
I'm Jeremy.
Where are we on social media?
I don't know.
YouTube, Twitter. We have a Facebook.
Anchor.
Spotify.
Apple.
You got options.
Yeah.
We like to provide you a variety of flavors.
A buffet, if you will.
A smorgasbord.
Oh, I hate that word. It's like supper.
Brunch.
All right,
y'all. Peace.
And turn these fuckers off. Oh my goodness.